welcome to Holistic Health with Dr. Kate. If you've ever wondered what you're putting on your body for hair products or skin products, if you've ever wondered how they affect your health or how they even affect our planet, our environment, I'm really excited to have our guest here today. Sarah Deal is a stylist. She has been a stylist for 15 years and has worked the past 8 years at Ritual Salon and Spa, which is an Aveda full-service salon and spa in Leominster. And I love to showcase these local gems that are so close to us. And I'm really excited to have Sarah here today, who is going to talk to us about just how the Aveda Advantage can make a difference for your health and a difference for our environment. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Kate.
I get to sit in Sarah's chair frequently when she's doing my hair and styling my hair, and there's so much knowledge that she has about Aveda and how it makes a difference in what we're putting on our bodies, and you're always talking about that. I know you go to a lot of conferences and do a lot of education and training, and you recently came back from a pretty big conference.
I did. I went to Aveda Congress in Minneapolis. They do that every 2 years. And basically it's just a huge gathering of every department of Aveda, from research and development to the marketing department to the creative directors for hair cutting, coloring, styling. It's just a gathering of everybody where we can share knowledge and learn from each other. There's so much information that they give you. It's almost overwhelming, but you come back with these tidbits that just kind of stand out in your mind. For example, one of them is the honeybees. Our honeybee population is actually depleting, and they've really, actually, one of the colleges in Minnesota has a honeybee colony that they have developed so they can encourage the honeybees, which obviously they pollinate our agriculture. If we don't have the pollen, we don't have food. So they're actually, they have their own colony, and they're encouraging that the growth of the colony so we can continue to have food.
Well, this is so interesting because when I first said, I have to have Sarah on the show, I use Aveda products because I understand they're healthier for your body, and I know we're going to talk about their ingredients and why, you can even tell when you walk into the salon.
Absolutely.
That smell of just, it's a calming smell. It's not a chemical smell that you might get in salons that might use other products. You can tell walking in that it's a different type of product, that there's something in it that doesn't feel like it's hurting your body. But you were talking about the honeybees, and you were so excited about the impact that Aveda is trying to make on our honeybee population.
Right.
And that really helped me understand that Aveda does, and along with its mission, where it says our mission at Aveda is to care for the world we live in, from the products we make to the ways in which we give back to society. And so they're really conscientious about not only what they put in the products, but how it's affecting the environment.
Absolutely.
And that was really something you kind of brought to life with your excitement about something like that.
Right. And actually, Aveda products are produced or manufactured with 100% wind power. So I thought that was pretty amazing.
And it's interesting because they say that as well, 100% wind power. And I know they talk about, acting responsibly. They use the renewable energy. And it's not just the ingredients, but it's also their packaging.
Right.
Where they talk about having 100% recyclable packaging.
Absolutely.
So they really are a conscientious company. And I think nowadays that is what consumers are looking for. They're looking for something that they can put on their bodies that's not going to hurt them, but also how is it impacting the earth, because we know we're in a crisis.
Absolutely.
In that way. So I thought when we talk about the ingredients, maybe you can talk a little bit about that, because I don't think, sometimes people don't realize that there's definitely a difference in what you're putting on your skin or what you're putting in your hair.
Well, absolutely.
So if we talk about, let's just talk about the Aveda hair color.
Okay.
And tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the Aveda hair color is 97% naturally derived. The permanent color is. The demi-permanent color is 99% naturally derived. So basically, in a tube of color, you're going to find lots of organic oils, organic castor oil, sunflower oil, jojoba oil. They're all 100% organic, babassu oil. These are going to condition and add shine to the hair. You're not finding synthetics like silicone, petrochemicals, things that come, out of the ground. You're putting petrol in your car. They're putting that in products these days, and I don't think consumers really know what's in their products. When you go to CVS or the drugstore and buy a lotion, you don't really know what the ingredients are.
Well, if you can understand.
If you can understand that. There's so many chemicals that are detrimental to your health. Parabens, for example. You're going to find parabens in, I wouldn't give an accurate percentage, but most of what you find in the store has some form of paraben in it, which is actually an endocrine disruptor. It changes your hormones. So you're finding this in your lotions, in your shampoos, in your conditioners, and things that you put on your body every day. And our skin is our largest organ. It's going to absorb those chemicals and disrupt our body's function. So with Aveda, there are no parabens in Aveda, no petrochemicals. They really strive to put quality ingredients in their products. So it's better for us, it's better for the environment. And
you can read the ingredients on the
can
back
read the
of an
ingredients,
Aveda
absolutely,
product
yep.
and understand and read them, but
Right.
know what they are.
Exactly. I mean, of course, there are some technical terms for natural ingredients. For vitamin E, for example, is a different name on the packaging, but it's vitamin E. They usually put it in parentheses so you know what it is, but there's a technical name for it. But yeah, the products are great.
And one of the things too, so some people might say, okay, well, I definitely want to be healthier. I want to have healthier hair products. I mean, I think that was one of the things before I found Aveda is being concerned about, and my friends would kind of pick on me for this, but hair color. Because I didn't realize there were options close by that are safe. And I know they talk about that it virtually has no negative impact on your health, is what they're understanding from some of the hair color that is in Aveda versus
A store-bought.
a non-Aveda product.
Right.
But the other thing I think you think about as a consumer is you want something that's not going to harm you. You want something that has the least amount of chemicals in it, but you also want it to work well too. So people are concerned with that as well. Do you see a difference in the potency or the product quality?
Absolutely. I have to say, I've worked, because I've been a stylist for 15 years, I've worked with all different hair colors. This by far is the best hair color I've ever used. And it's the shiniest. It leaves the hair the healthiest I've ever seen. Sometimes, I'm sure some people can attest to this, when you color your hair, it almost gets stiff afterwards. Those are the synthetic chemicals in your hair that you're putting into your hair in those products. Because we're using organic oils and natural ingredients, natural plant dyes and things like that, the hair just accepts it better. It's almost like your hair is organic and so is this product. So it says, hey, let me take you in instead of pushing it out, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
They're wonderful. And the control that you have as a stylist over color selection, it isn't just you pick a color and you put it on a client. You formulate these colors for that specific client and put the pigments in that you want or don't want. You can customize it to anybody. And that is where Aveda is different from other color lines. You have so much creative control over it. So it's really amazing, and it's so shiny. It's the shiniest I've ever seen.
And it's not, like I said, you don't have that chemical smell. You
Right.
can even tell just as I'm sitting there having it on that you can tell it doesn't have all of those chemicals in it.
Right, and they use organic lavender as an aroma as well, which helps to, it smells great, and it also calms you down. So it's a very relaxing experience.
Now, if I know you've been in an Aveda salon for 8 years, how would you compare? Could you compare? What is the biggest thing you've learned in the last 8 years being an Aveda stylist versus before when you were working with other products?
I don't think I realized how many chemicals were in other products. Aveda really educates their stylists and estheticians, and they really just want us to know how good the products are for us. And I think that's what's different about these products is there are so many benefits to them, and I didn't know there was an option or a choice. I just thought hair color was hair color. You know, you're a young stylist, you go out, you do your thing. I used great products, but then I found this product and I was like, wow, this is really great. So not only that, but the way that Aveda gives back to the earth and society is just unbelievable. You don't find that in other companies. You know, a lot of them are just out for profit. Aveda's out for giving back and making sure that the footprint, our carbon footprint, is very small. And they really strive to make it non-existent. So.
And they work with, a lot of their ingredients are naturally derived, but they work with a lot of communities to make sure that the resources are pulled conscientiously.
Absolutely.
That they're utilizing the ingredients, and that's all over their website. They talk about that with the different groups that they've connected with. I know a lot of which I didn't realize. A lot of Aveda is based on Ayurvedic medicine, and Lancaster used to have an Ayurvedic center, a very large Ayurvedic center here, which was incredible to have here. But a lot of that healing system of approach of mind, body, and spirit, Aveda is very based in that, and that's actually kind of the roots of where it started. So it has a solid base of really taking care of the person that's using it, which I found fascinating. And it's not just in the hair color, but I know there's lots of other products. This is a lotion, which you were saying earlier how much you loved it.
I love that lotion.
And what are some of the other products that you brought here today just for us to talk about?
Excuse me. So this is the Dry Remedy Oil. This is a hair product. You put this in when your hair's wet before you blow dry or let it air dry. It increases the moisture in your hair up to 47%, I believe. I'm sorry, 41%. And there's no silicone in it. It is buriti oil, where they actually get this from the buriti palm tree in Brazil. And women actually crack these nuts. It's a whole process where they pick the nuts up off the ground, crack the nuts, and they basically gather all these nuts, and then the nuts are processed in a good for the earth type of way. You're not using petrochemicals. They're crushing, they're grinding these nuts, and they're getting the oil from them.
That on the website. There's a whole area where they talk about even the process of how they extract
the oils.
The ingredients are not harming the plants they're taking it from,
Right.
and so from those steps, okay.
Yeah, these nuts actually naturally fall from the tree, so you're not using any gas-powered mechanical process to get them off the trees. They're just picking them up, and these women actually, this is their job. This is what they've done before Aveda even partnered with them. So they're actually, Aveda's providing jobs for them as well. They're being paid for doing this. So
now what's this product right here?
that is our Light the Way candle. That's something that so every Earth Month we have this candle.
Can I open it?
Absolutely.
So go on.
So the money, it's a $12 candle. 100% of the proceeds for this candle go to the Global Green Grants Fund, which help to fund all different organizations around the world, from clean water to rebuilding. There was a earthquake in India.
Yeah.
So they've actually, some of the money that's given to the Global Green Grants is given to, disaster relief, things like that, clean water, getting clean water for different organizations and communities that don't have access to clean water. So like I said, $12, 100% of that goes to the Global Green Grant Fund. So this is one we have every year.
And this is a soy candle with essential oils.
Yep.
It smells wonderful. Yep. This is why I love going into an
I
Aveda
know.
salon.
So
You must feel so good when you walk into the
do.
salon, just from the smell alone. It just kind of
It calms me. It's my
and then you
escape.
get to leave and you probably smell like that. And,
It's funny. When I do my laundry, I pull things out and I go,
exactly.
because it's just such a good aroma.
That's how you feel when I walk into the
Absolutely.
salon. I mean, I bring my kids there because, of course, I think about my kids and what they're putting in their hair. I have 2 girls. If they're going to be styling their hair or coloring their hair, I want them to stick with something that's safe for them, especially as they're growing and developing. I don't want them putting a lot of chemicals that might interrupt their endocrine system or whatever it might be. So I'll bring them, and it's not my turn, and I just wish it was. But so this is the candle that they have all the time, all year round. You can purchase these for that, and this falls in line with their conscientious giving back.
Right.
Wonderful. Good. And what's this?
That is the Style Prep Smoother from the Smooth Infusion line. That is an amazing product. I use that on virtually every client that comes through the door. It's a beautiful blow-dry lotion. It reduces frizz. It adds moisture to the hair. But the wonderful thing about it is it's made with aloe, and it has an aroma of bergamot, Turkish rose, sandalwood, and it's just a great product. There's no silicone in it. A lot of the products out there that are used for smoothing hair contain silicone, and this doesn't. It has aloe, maize, and guarbean, and it's just amazing. I love that product. One of my favorites.
And it kind of seems like some companies are trying to jump on the bandwagon. They'll say, no parabens or phthalate free or whatever it might be. But Aveda really has stuck to this practice since its inception, which is it knew before all of these companies are now trying to meet consumer demand of less toxic chemicals on our bodies. It knew to do this from the beginning, which to me, I think, says something about a company too.
Absolutely.
And now these are so there's so many different product lines for Aveda that from start to finish you can really know that you're having a lot better products. It's not just hair. And these are some of the makeup products too.
Yes. So we have lipsticks, lip glosses, eyeliners, eyeshadows. We also have tinted moisturizers, powders, everything for the face basically. The great thing about these products is there are no petrochemicals in them. Women eat 4 to 6 pounds of lipstick in their lifetime.
Oh my gosh,
we
you're
put
right.
our lipstick on, we eat our food, we swallow it, we're ingesting these products.
I never thought about that.
It's true, and some, I know, and some of the products out there, not all of them, but a good percentage of them contain petrochemicals, lead, carmine, which is actually crushed beetle shells that they use to get red pigment. So and we don't know this because who knows what carmine is unless you research it. So Aveda uses plant pigments. They use babassu oils, Brazil oil, Brazil nut oil, jojoba oil, pomegranate seed. They're silicone free, of course. The flavor is wonderful. Organic spearmint and vanilla. Delicious.
So if you're someone who
It's so good.
so has to have your lipstick on all the time, you're probably one of those people who has ingested quite a bit of these chemicals throughout your lifetime, unknowingly. I didn't even consider that. And so obviously choosing something that's a lot less toxic or not toxic would be definitely the better choice.
There you go.
Yeah. So interesting. I would never even think about that. We talk a lot about the organizations, and I want to make sure that we mention that some of the things locally that Aveda gives back to the community, because it's a global initiative, but they also work with the individual Aveda salons to give back locally.
Absolutely.
So there's something coming up that you were talking about, and I was wondering if maybe you could hold it up. Maybe we
Sure.
could zoom in with the camera and just talk about locally what your salon is doing, and a little bit more about what it's about and what it is.
So we are participating in a 5K run walk. It will be in West Boylston on April 24th. The proceeds are going to the Clean Water Fund.
And I might hold it up.
Sure,
Is that okay?
Absolutely. Which is a
talking.
fund, it's all around the country, but what it does, the Clean Water Fund actually protects our local water. It protects it from toxic chemicals. It's going to be around the West Boylston watershed, I believe. And what better place to do it for clean water? So we'll be doing this April 24th. It starts at, I believe, 9 a.m., is it?
Yep, that's what I have here.
And if you go to racewire.com, that's where you can sign up. It's $25 to sign up in advance. Like I said, all the proceeds go to the Clean Water Fund. Again, they protect our local water here, so we're getting clean water free of toxic chemicals.
And clean water is a big thing that Aveda focuses on as well.
Absolutely.
So this is a local event, and Aveda is certainly jumping in on it. So we want to make sure that all the viewers know about that too. It's a walk or a run, which you can attend. Wonderful. Well, I've learned a tremendous amount today between the ingredients, which I knew, but gosh, the lipstick thing is sticking out in my mind and that's something you ingest. But certainly we need to remember that your skin, those pores are taking in whatever you put on it. Your hair is the same way. Your body is absorbing the whatever products you put on it. So choosing something that's safer, that's not toxic, that's better for your body, that's not going to interrupt our healthy system is certainly important, and Aveda certainly provides that for consumers. So I was really fascinated to learn about all the different products as well. This was great. I'm so glad that you were able to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you teaching us a little bit more about Aveda, helping us to understand what we're putting on our skin, what we're putting on our bodies, and why that's important to know and to make a difference. And I've certainly learned quite a bit about the different ingredients too, which I could tell going into it, but now I really have a better understanding of it. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Kate.
I really appreciate it. You've been watching Holistic Health with Dr. Kate. I'm dedicated to informing and inspiring you to make healthy and whole decisions for your family. Thank you for watching.